Thami. I'm pleased to be here.
Now, East Africa has shown resilience over the years, and it really has continued to grow. Could you take us through the key sectors that are contributing to the growth?
Excellent. So East Africa remains a very diversified economy. As you rightfully said, the GDP growth has been in the north of 5% across most of our markets. It continues to grow. I think the key reason for this growth is integration. It's very well integrated. Speaking to the sectors that are driving the growth within East Africa, key to this is agriculture, which continues to contribute significantly to the GDP. In most of the countries, 8 countries comprising of East Africa community, agriculture is the largest driver of the economy, contributing almost 30% to the GDP. Technology and innovation is also a key sector that continues to drive some of the countries. Kenya in particular, Rwanda as well. We well known to be the Silicon Savannah. Another sector that is driving growth is tourism. Again, when you look at East Africa, there is a very well diversified opportunities for tourism. In Kenya, we have the beaches, we have the safaris, Tanzania as well, Uganda, to some extent, Rwanda. An emerging sector is the manufacturing and industry. We continue to be largely reliant on agriculture and very little or minimal agro-processing. So this is an emerging sector where we're continuing to see growth, again, to just ensure that we're self-sufficient and able to do more value addition. And lastly, financial services. Services including financial services, education, health, continue to contribute significantly. We've also seen energy and infrastructure. Again, given the level of development, energy and infrastructure continue to contribute significantly with a key focus around renewable energy. As you may know, Kenya continues to lead in renewable energy with about 90% of our energy coming from renewable sources, geothermal, wind, and hydro.
Perhaps let's take a look at the G20 presidency that South Africa has, and this is clearly on behalf of the entire African continent. How can the G20 presidency play a role in further unlocking East Africa's trade and also enhancing the growth potential of small and medium enterprises across the region? And if you could, while responding to that on the G20, see how the African Continental Free Trade Area fits into that dynamic and matrix.
Excellent question. So in terms of G20, I think for the first time as Africans, we must be very proud to have a seat at the table, and having the presidency in South Africa is definitely a big opportunity for Africa. I see this playing out in terms of enabling us to really advocate for fairer trade for East Africa and Africa as a continent. And here, when we look at the current trade rules, we see tariff barriers and, more importantly, non-tariff barriers. So being at the seat will allow us to be able to advocate for some of the changes that will enable us to also be, play a significant part in driving growth. I think another opportunity I see is that given the level of development in East Africa as well as Africa, it gives us an opportunity to also advocate for, financing or investments in infrastructure. We are not going to be able to deliver trade or grow the trade opportunity when the infrastructure is underdeveloped. So I see the South Africa presidency playing a big role in basically championing the opportunities that are there to invest in ports, in roads, energy, digital infrastructure as well, which is also key towards driving trade. I think the other part that we can also play is also just ensuring that we're able to advocate for African goods to be accepted in the G20 markets. So again, when you see the imbalance of trade, Africa continues to be a net importer, and this platform will also give us an opportunity to ensure that we're also exporting significantly to some of these countries. We do have good opportunities for export, be it tea, coffee, most of our markets, floriculture. And I guess this will also give us an opportunity to really negotiate some tariffs that enable us to be more competitive in the global economy.
Certainly a seat at a very important table, not only impacting the African continent, but from a global perspective as well. Florence Wanja, we thank you very much for your insight and your time this afternoon.
Okay, thank you, Thami, and good talking to you.
Same here. Thank you, ma'am. That's Florence Wanja. She's the regional head for East Africa.